guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. Guys, the warm weather continues, and check it out. Look what I'm actually getting now in the garden. I'm actually getting more tomato plants that are coming up in the soil. Check that out. I have never experienced a fall here this warm, ever. I still got pollinators in here, which is amazing. Every time I open the door, the hoverflies just fly around me. It's amazing in here so far. We keep on walking on through. Actually, if I turn around really quickly, check this out. More blackberry flowers, and they're still trying to make fruit. All right. Mountain mints that I've actually grown this year have all gone to seed, so we'll be collecting those. And we actually still have baby tomatoes in here that we're able to eat. Isn't that awesome? These little baby cherry tomatoes. Let's go take a look at the other part of the greenhouse around the corner here. Look at this. Sweetheart cherry tomatoes. These are very, very tasty. I can't believe they're still growing. We go up all the way in here. You can see that they're still growing. Lots of new ones. This is how warm it's been here in the north, guys. This is really unusual for me to still be growing around this time of the year with this many flowers and this many tomatoes. Normally it's gotten to the point where it's gotten too cold and we've had to sort of clean out the greenhouse and shut it down. But you can see that nothing that's left behind so far is actually affected, including that of the pepper plants, my little fish peppers. They're actually still growing peppers. No soft spots, nothing to indicate that the frost is affecting it. I am amazed this year. I don't know what to say about the weather. Still got tomatoes happening. And I just can't get over the amount of blossoms. Look at this, guys. It is November 1st, and I have a cucumber. Who grows cucumbers in November? This is an unheated greenhouse. It's insulated, but it's unheated. And I'm able to pick cucumbers in November. Isn't that awesome? Let's see what's behind here. Look at this. Look at the tomatoes for November 1st. Now they're damp, obviously, because of it's humid in here, because it's really chilly at night and then it warms up really, really good. But for November 1st, guys, I keep saying amazing. I know I'm on repeat, but I have to say this has been the best year for growing that I've ever had. Over to the other side here of the greenhouse, we've got tons of tomatoes. Check it out. We could actually probably pick these now and they'd ripen a little bit better on the counter, but lots and lots of tomatoes. And then we have, I think, one last mortgage lifter in here. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, here we go. Ooh, look at these babies. Look at that. They're not ready yet and they're still green, so we're gonna leave them on the vine. But take a look at the last of my mortgage lifters. Aren't those beautiful? They got a little bit of shoulder split. You can see that there. But man, they are growing just fine, so we are going to leave them on there. Still harvesting ground cherries. Look at the size of these things. These are my pineapple ground cherries. Just unreal. What this crazy weather is doing to my hasc caps. Getting all new shoots. I don't know, guys. What do you think? What's the reason for the warm weather this year? We've got a motherland okra that's actually still growing. So this one is about 7 feet so far. Let me see if I can pull this down. But it's still giving us okra pods in November. And it's still actually budding. Amazing. Still in the greenhouse, picking jalapenos. So these are my notapinos, the ones that have no heat. And we're also getting still quite a few cayennes that are ready to pick. And also what we have to do is we have to collect our safflower seed. So in this pod, there'll be a bunch of seeds that I can collect and use the safflower, which is something you can use if you don't or can't afford saffron, which most of us can't. Then a lot of the times what happens is you'll use safflower. So we'll show you what those seeds look like. Let's break this open so you can see. So it might be a little hard to see because my hands are full of soil. But let me just dig through this and then I'll show you what the seeds look like. All right, so if you're growing safflower, you're going to get little seeds in the safflower pods that look like this. And these are basically new plants that you can plant and make another garden with. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've got about 5 seeds in that one pod. So a little hard to see. But when you break open the pod, like I said, you'll get these little round seeds, and that is your new safflower seed that you can plant for next year's garden. So the scarlet runners, if we swing around really quickly, are now actually putting out their beans. Remember I said I was going to leave the plant just to see what it would give us. And if we swing around, oops, check it out. Look at that, the size of that bean. So this one, what we'll probably do is we'll probably leave it go to seed and just save the scarlet runner bean seed from there. And once again, on the other side of the trellis, of course, we have beautiful blackberries. Check it out. And then we have a whole new bunch of blackberries actually that have just started on these plants here from the door. Check that out. Isn't that amazing? So the weather holds. We're going to have a lot more blackberries to harvest, probably by December. So these here are my coffee plants, and they've actually started putting on new leaves as well because of the weather. If we take a look there, we've got some nice new small leaves happening. It does start to get a little chilly in here for them overnight. They're a little bit of a tropical plant, but they're treating me really good this year by giving me more leaves. So if it gets too cold, they get this little bit of tinge of brown on them. These leaves will fall off, and then we'll get a whole bunch of new green glossy leaves. As a matter of fact, this one's starting to give me new leaves as well. So you see how they're kind of slumped? This guy's not happy because he's saying, hey, it's a little bit chilly in here at night now. So we're going to be moving these into the inside sunroom where they're going to be able to have heat pretty much all winter long. So that'll be great. And then, of course, we have the infamous garden huckleberries. So check it out. We finished doing one batch of huckleberries. We did jam with it. These ones, I think what we'll do is we'll take them in and we'll freeze them so that we can make a huckleberry pie in the winter. Now, to sort of attest to the warmth that we're experiencing this year in the greenhouse, I wanted to show you this. Usually a hibiscus plant dies off, it gets rid of all of its leaves, and then you're pretty much done for the season. But it's been so warm in here that the hibiscus plant has begun to put on new leaves. So I'm going to show you this at the top here. So new leaves and new buds. And we've got more leaves down here. So this too is going to be moving into our sunroom. The sunroom basically is a giant plant room that has a heated floor and 4 big windows. So they'll be heated and they'll be able to get some sun all winter. So I suspect they'll probably bloom again. Here is my plum trees. So the plum trees are doing amazing. How tall it's getting. Now, eventually what I'm going to have to do is trim some of these because I'm going to have to choose a leader. It's not necessarily supposed to bush like this, but I didn't want to trim it in the first year. So one of these is going to be probably the smallest one here, but look at this. It's got all brand new buds on it. So I suspect what's going to happen is probably March, you're going to see this tree start to bloom in here, along with its counterpart here. The leaves look amazing. We're getting new leaves. So next year's going to be a very interesting year at Not a Real Farm. We're adding red maples and everything to the property, so it's going to be really exciting. It's such a beautiful day today. I think what we're going to do is take advantage of the weather and finish planting off our deep purple garlic that we have so that we can offer some seed next year. So the ground is starting to get a little bit hard to dig, but we're going to just add in some new garlic and get that in before it starts to rain tomorrow. And then that'll be it for the garlic. So we've got about 12 different varieties of garlic that we planted this year, including elephant garlic. So what we're doing is we're hoping that by doing that, we'll be able to offer some in the store next year. All right, let's put these cloves in. This is called a deep purple garlic. So some of the papers have come away, but once you pull it out of the ground, it's probably the most purple garlic I've ever seen, even darker than a purple glazer. So we'll get that in here. Just going to push it right down in and keep going. We've got honey and garlic together in the cupboard. Big garlic pieces like this, creating that nice garlic and honey blend so that if we get a cold or we need a little immune system bump, that we've got that sitting there for us for the winter. Does anybody else create the honey and garlic for the winter? We like doing that, and it's really tasty too. Oh, the soil is cold. Got big clumps of soil now that are really cold to put this in. Usually I plant the garlic a little bit earlier, but things got away from me this year. There's a lot to do. You know how that is. All right, that didn't take us very long, so now we're going to hop back into the greenhouse. So that's, pretty much almost 30 cloves of garlic that we planted, and we'll be able to offer the garlic seed for this one. It's going to be a fiery hot garlic, so super excited. So now our horseradish has decided that it's that time of the year where the leaves will start to lay down and we can trim them off so that we can start off with some nice new shoots for next spring. It was a very difficult year this year for sending out live plants. Shipping costs have almost doubled for us. So it's really leading me to really take a look at, do we want to really ship live plants again next year? I've had lots of inquiries about shipping tomato plants and all kinds of other live plants, but 2 roots of this alone, and I'm talking just 2 roots, maybe about 4 inches long, sent out in the mail, cost a small business, even with a business rate, $21 to ship. So it's not cheap anymore, and we're trying not to pass along the costs of shipping to our consumers. So this might not necessarily be something that we're going to be shipping out next year. It's something that we have to really decide what we want to do. But live plants and shipping is really expensive. So it's making it really hard for the small guy to really keep going. Well, I'm taking a look at all my sunflowers. I don't know how I'm going to get those ones up there, but why don't we take one of these down and see if the seeds are actually ready on it, just for fun. So if you take a look, you can tell that it's pretty dry and the back of the seed head is brown. So that's what you're looking for when you're harvesting sunflowers for the seed to be properly developed, is you want that seed head to be brown. So let's see if we can bump out any of these seeds. Now this is my sunflower mix. So this is gonna be a red, yellow, and white sunflowers, which is kind of cool. And when I say red, probably more like purple. You can tell the seeds are actually purple on this one. If I get real close. So this one is going to be a velvet queen. You can see the purple in there. So this is a purple sunflower. And it's got lots of seeds, lots of viable, really thick. And that's what you're looking for too. You want your seed to be thick and full. It means it's got that seed in there that you want. And I think we're going to have a lot of sunflower seeds this year. Holy, wow. And there we have it. There's all of our seeds just from that one tiny little sunflower. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. We're going to have a lot of sunflower seeds this year. It's November and we still have hoverflies in the greenhouse. So he's actually just on a little miniature rose that I have. Just chilling. It's pretty impressive for November. Well, that's it for us today, guys. We are still here saving seeds, getting fresh produce. And I thought by now I would be shut down, but the weather's so good that we're still growing. Thanks for joining me today, guys. See you soon.